Let's learn some new stuff about India. You probably know more about India than I do because I'm so illiterate. Like, I basically don't know anything about any country. So this video is called Shocking Facts About India. It's from the YouTube channel called FTD Facts. The original video will be in the description below, so please go ahead and check him out. I also took this video idea from Sergeant Rocco, so you can show him some love and support as well, because, I mean, I didn't even come up with this shit. So let's get enlightened. I just want to jump right into this. I want to learn new stuff. It's always good with knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? So let's jump right into this. So FTD Facts, enlighten us and blow everyone's mind. Let's go.
India. It is huge.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's so big, it makes up 17.5% of the entire world's population.
That's almost a
Fact
fifth
number one.
of the
And
world's
first of all,
population.
we gotta thank a couple of YouTubers for recommending this video. That's Manish Singh and Ritzy Lala. But you know what? There are some interesting and shocking facts about India that you guys need to know about.
Tell
Let's
us.
find out what they are. And
Okay.
before we get into it, I want to know, if you guys could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? So you got number one.
I don't
the
know.
population makes up 17.5% of the world's population. But
India,
how
I
big
guess.
is that exactly? Well, the population of India currently sits at 1.2 billion people.
Yeah,
and
I
guess
knew
what,
that.
guys? It's steadily rising. As a matter of fact, by 2022, they predict that it will definitely destroy China's population. And by 2050, there will be 1.6 billion people living in India.
Wow,
The Kumbh Mela is
that's a lot of
mass
people.
pilgrimage of faith, where people gather around a sacred river to bathe. In 2013, the Kumbh Mela estimated over 120 million people. And on February 10th of that year, 30 million people came to the festival. As a matter of fact, it was so big that you could see it from space. At one point, India was an
That's
island. 100
insane.
million years ago, back in the dinosaur days, it broke up.
He's talking way too fast, but seriously, did you hear that? How many people were coming to the festival? Like 30 million people in a single day. Holy shit, just imagine how many people must have like drowned just from careless behavior or something. I don't fucking know. Holy shit, that blew my mind. Well done, FTD Facts.
Gondwana land, and it moved north, eventually crashing into Asia. And because of this collision, that is why we have the Himalayan mountains, which are the youngest but also the biggest mountains. In India, there are more road deaths than in any other country, with an approximation of 115,000 people dying a year from motor vehicles.
A year? What the fuck? 115,000 a year. That's like 300, 400 people a day literally dying from motorcycle accidents. That's a lot of people each hour. Like every single, like 10 minutes someone is out there dying in a motorcycle accident in India. Holy shit.
Vehicle accidents. Now here's a shocking fact.
Wow,
I always thought that Hollywood was like the biggest film industry in the entire world.
Yeah,
But
I've heard
actually,
about this.
India is. They produce over 1,100 films a year. And a lot of you guys might think, oh,
That's
they're all
3.
Bollywood films, but that's not actually true. Bollywood
I did not
produces
know that.
about 200 of them. In India, they have 6 seasons. Yeah, I know, we only have like 4. You got spring, you got summer, you got monsoon, you've got autumn. And then of course you get winter, but then there's another one called Provernal. Alright, so for this next one, you know when you guys...
He could have explained a little bit there, I feel like. I don't know what Provernal is.
Country, and sometimes you like to bring some currency back.
Because
something
I'm
maybe to
illiterate.
put in your scrapbook. Well, believe it or not, you can't do that in India, because it is actually illegal to leave the country with any form of Indian currency. Mumbai is one of the most polluted cities on the planet. As a matter of fact, it's so polluted that if you spend one day there, they say it equals 100 cigarettes. Ugh.
Wait,
How do people
what?
live there for more than like 3 days? In certain
Wait, what? Is that real? Like, that can't be real. 100 cigarettes just from being there one day? Like, what about people living there? I guess there's, like, ventilation, maybe there's cleaner airs inside of the houses, but holy shit, that blew my mind. These are some really shocking facts.
In the States and India, if you're a police officer and you grow a mustache, you will get a pay increase. I'm just waiting for them to get like monocles and maybe some top hats, and then they'll be really classy.
Wait,
India
if
is also
you grow a mustache?
has not invaded a country in
That's
10,000
awesome.
years. Although some scholars say it was 100,000 years, but this is due to the fact that India was a very rich nation, and actually kings were too busy fighting amongst themselves. In India, there are more mobile phones than there are toilets in the entire country.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
Okay, this is not a shocking fact,
Wow.
but this is really one for me. You guys know these things? Yeah, these awesome looking formal jackets. I know, they're so cool, right? Well, they're called Shawanis, and I want one.
Yeah, I think I've
Just the
heard it
fact
before.
right now. If you go to India, be careful of the children in the school. 61% of them have a disease that causes germs on their hands. So don't be shaking anybody without sanitizing. Now,
Causes germ on their hands. That sounds worse than it is. Like, doesn't everyone have germs on their hands? Like, there's always germs everywhere. He said that it was a disease that causes germs. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but that's how I
We
feel
all
though.
love spices. Some people like it hot, some people like it mild, but a lot of you guys in first world nations may think, hey, well, we get our spices from like places like Mexico. But that is actually not true, because 70% of the spices that are sold worldwide come all the way from India. Now, for us,
70%?
most of us are sitting complaining
Fucking
about
awesome.
not enough female leads in Hollywood or Donald Trump, or we're complaining about first world problems. Meanwhile, in India, they have a child slavery problem. Slavery is still a thing in India, and believe it or not, they think that there's over 14 million people in slavery, and most of them are all children. And just so you know, most of these children are working in things like quarries. Not good. In India, there's an airline company called Go Air. And speaking of females from the last one, this company only hires females. Why? Because, well, they say that females are lighter, and because of that, they save up to $500,000 US a year simply on fuel.
That's
India
insane.
are great for the blind. This is because they have Braille on them. But they're not the only country to do it. Countries like Russia, China, Mexico, and Israel also do that.
That's genius, by the way. Why wouldn't ever
has the most diverse amount of languages in the country. In 1961, a census went around totaling 1,652 languages in the country. Big ones are, well, you guessed it, Hindi, Bengali. There's also Telugu, Marathi, and Urdu. For me, I've always loved the animals from India. They're way better than the ones in North America. I mean, elephants are just super cool. But did you know that there are over 90,000 species of animals in India?
90,000
animals. There are 1,200 types of birds. And as for plant species, well, there's over 50,000 of them.
That's fucking insane.
India has a great space exploration program.
Okay.
And it's getting better year by year. In 2009, India was the first country to discover water on the moon. And it makes you wonder,
I didn't even know there was water on the moon.
And what else they will discover. Guys, I'm not
I thought there
was
was
awesome
ice on the moon.
Talk about. To be
Perhaps
real,
he's naming it water. I don't
about India that I learned that I just couldn't put in this video, otherwise it would be super long. So if you guys would like to see a part 2, or have a suggestion for
oh wait, there is a part 2, by the way. Let's jump right into that one as well. I want to see part 2 as well. So this is from FTD Facts once again. Please go ahead and check him out in the description. I mean, he makes these videos, they're fucking awesome. I love these kind of like fact videos where they bombard you with facts. I actually watch them a lot on my spare time. 20 shocking facts about India part 2. So once again, go and support this guy, FTD Facts. He makes awesome videos, just judging from this at least. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one as well. I want to learn more about India. This would be new fact as well because it's him once again.
All about everything. We talk about either the cosmos, space, we talk about, you know, celebrities. But in this case, we're doing part 2 to India.
Of India.
You guys were like, yo, do a part 2. Like, look, how many of you guys said do a part 2? I mean, that's just amazing. So let's get right into it. Let's do part 2 of India Facts. By the way, also, if you haven't seen the first one, you might want to check that out first.
I've seen the first one, definitely.
To the biggest home. And by that, I mean a guy has the biggest family ever in the entire world.
Oh, is that a family?
39 wives and 94 children. His name is Ziona Channa.
Ziona.
I just don't want to know what the grocery bill would be.
Ziona, dude.
In India,
relax.
It has the lowest meat consumption per person. This is because a majority of the country are all vegetarians. Wouldn't you just love that if we could do that in North America?
Yeah,
Be
actually.
like, yo guys, you're all vegetarians. Sorry, but you can't eat steak no more.
That's actually, that would help the earth a lot.
Cows are a huge commodity in that country. And they are so important that every cow has to have a photo ID. Now this is kind of a sad fact, but did you know that every hour a woman dies from dowry-related crimes? The fleshlight might be a really taboo thing over here, but over there in India, it's extremely taboo. This is because sex toys are completely illegal in the country. But snakes and ladders isn't. That's kind of a good thing to play with. It was a game that was invented in India, but eventually moved to Britain, where it was picked up by Milton Bradley. Did you know that India was the first country...
What was that kind of jump? He was talking about sex toys and then he jumped to snakes and ladders. I didn't understand that.
Surgery, and it started all the way back in the 3rd century. It was invented by a physician named Shashruta. They used a tool called the Jabamukhi Salaka, and this was pretty much a curved needle that would loosen your lens and push your cataract out of the field of vision. After that, the eye would be soaked in warm water, and it apparently worked. 53% of houses in India don't have bathrooms. Oh god, that's gotta stink. India is also home to the largest postal service in the entire world. They have over 54,000 postal offices, and as a matter of fact, they even have a floating one that was created in 2011, which is on the
That's
Dell
awesome.
Lake in Srinagar. Have you ever seen this bridge? It's called the Bandra World Sea Link, and it is one of the most spectacular bridges in the entire world.
Obviously, just
What's
look at
amazing
it.
about this bridge is if you were to combine all the steel wires used to make the bridge, it would stretch out to equal the entire world's circumference. And on top of that, the bridge weighs about 50,000 elephants. India was also the first country to produce
This is
refined
mind-blowing.
sugar. Now, right now, you are looking at the Lonar Lake, which is a saltwater lake in Maharashtra. And it's a very rare type of lake because, like, look at it. Look at its shape. It was created from a meteorite crashing into Earth. Now, one of my
Where's the
favorite
water? Where did the water come from? Was there water on the meteorite?
and Kingsley, that's actually
I'm just
not his
stupid,
name.
by the way.
His
I
original
just
name
realized.
is Krishna
Just ignore
Pandit
that.
Benji. And yes, his ancestry comes all the way back from India. Also, chess was invented in this country. And the first person to win a world championship in chess was Viswanathan Anand. Okay, so
Good job,
you're probably
Viswanathan.
wearing clothes
Definitely,
right now,
good
unless,
job.
of course, you know, you're in the tub watching this completely naked. Or naked on the couch. Or naked in a park, which would be totally inappropriate. But if you are wearing clothes, believe it or not, you're probably wearing something that was made in India. No,
Really?
I'm not talking denim. I'm talking buttons, son. The button was originally invented and released in India 5,000 years ago. The only downside is it was really just made out of seashells. India was also the first
Why is
country
that a
to
downside,
invent the zero
Still a button.
sign. That's right, this weird little kind of slanted O thing that looks kind of like it wants to be an egg. Before this, the Babylonians represented the zero with a blank space. But this ended up getting really confusing, so instead they just put a dot. But by 500 AD, Arab Hada, who was one of the very first mathematicians and astronomers, he decided, nope, we're going to totally change the zero and make it like an O. Now, we've all heard of blood diamonds. They're diamonds in Africa, and everyone likes to think, yeah, diamonds, they only come from Africa. But believe it or not, before 1986, India was the #1 country where you could get diamonds. In India, they rack about 28,904 murders per year. Wow.
Holy, that's pretty bad, yeah. How many are that each day? That's insane amounts of people dying each day. Not as much as the vehicular damages though. Like those were insane. That was almost like 4 or 5 times more than that.
A temple was also built in India. The Brihadeeswara temple was built in the 11th century, and also it was only created in 5 years. Now the country might be smaller than most countries, but it has the largest road network. If you were to take all the roads and combine them together, they would equal no less than 1.9 million miles of road. If you were to build that out in space, you could easily go to the moon, as the moon is only 238 miles.
They could be
overall, I just want to list off
5
some
times
amazing
almost.
mathematical accomplishments that India has, well, done. This country was the first ones to invent pi, trigonometry, calculus, and even my good old-fashioned favorite, which I failed at all the time, algebra. Hate algebra. Last but not least, guys, you know what? I'm just gonna throw an extra one in there for you. India was also the first country to introduce, well, what keeps your hair clean? Shampoo. Now, the word comes from Hindustani's champoo, spelled C-H-A-M-P-O-O. Now this goes all the way back to 1762. This was pretty much a head massage that had stuff like alkali and, of course, natural fragrances. Of course, let's also throw some natural oils in there as well. But eventually, shampoo was introduced to Britain by Sheikh Dean Mohammed, who created small shops which were pretty much steam and seawater baths. Either way, guys, my name's Dave Wapple. It's been awesome hanging out with you guys, teaching you guys about the universe and everything. But if you guys have an idea for an FTD Facts, we want you guys to put it down there.
What about another shocking facts about India? That would be quite good, wouldn't it? So, get on it, FTD Facts. I just realized there's literally another 10 shocking facts about India. I did not know this. I actually just said that he should do another one, and then there's actually another one to watch. So once again, go check out FTD Facts. He will be in the description below. Go show him some love and support. Like, look at these videos he's making. He's just bombarding us with enlightenment. He's making us smart, at least me. Like, out of these 40 facts that we watched so far, I've known maybe perhaps 4 or 5 of them, and all of the others are new things to me. So that proves how well he's actually doing the research, right? So either way, I don't want to talk too much. I want to jump right into this one as well. FTD Facts. Go check him out. Go and show him some love and support. Let's jump right into this.
What's going on? Dave Welper here.
Dave, welcome back, Dave.
Having an awesome day today.
Yeah, we're having an awesome day,
Facts,
definitely.
The channel where we teach you everything about everything. So, Today, we are going to be doing a part 3 to our India video. This is because, well, you guys, like, it blew up. You guys were like, what? This is like the craziest video. We had some serious controversy, however, in the video. We had a lot of people saying, well, algebra was created by, you know, an Arabic guy. And then a bunch of other people were like, no, he's right. Let's be honest, guys, that is also speculation. You go that far back in history, it's really hard to say.
That's true what he's talking
Y'all
about.
might be right. But anyways, we're going to get into part 3.
Okay.
That's... Come on, work with me, fingers. Also, to let all
I don't know if he actually
meant
to do that or not.
That is completely dedicated to Bollywood. It's going to be coming out in a couple of days, and my pal Leroy is gonna be doing it, which I find kind of weird that I'm not doing it because I'm the actor. Weird. But before we get to it, for all you guys who
perhaps Leroy is the one writing the script for him.
Suggestions, so be sure to leave
or
a
editing
suggestion for a future video down there. And for those who are just coming here for the first time, well, that's what we do. So if you want us to do a video, boom, put it down there and we're gonna look into it. And you know what?
Definitely. I want you to make more of these shocking facts about India. FTD Facts. More of them.
What country do you think has the most beautiful people? If you guys say Canada or Dave's room or
I don't
house,
know.
I will love you. Give you guys all high fives. Yeah. So let's just get cracking. Let's start off with our first fact. Now, first of all, India is the 18th largest trading country in the entire world.
18th?
Now, its biggest export being refined petroleum, which makes
18? I thought it would be higher than that, honestly.
$292 billion income. Now, the
That's
crazy thing is,
insane.
although India exports a lot of goods, they actually import a lot as well. As a matter of fact, its total import costs equal $421 billion. And the biggest of that being
Holy
crude petroleum,
shit.
which makes up 29% of its imports. Which I kind of wonder if they get that from Mexico, because Mexico exports a lot of crude petroleum. More on that in our future video where we talk about Mexico. Now, India may be a country that has a lot of Bollywood films, but television didn't start until
Look at those
1959.
physics.
As a matter
I
of
love
fact,
it.
September 15th.
He pulls him
This is
up.
when the Doordarshan experimented with a small transmitter and a makeshift studio in Delhi. And since then, TV's just exploded all over the country. As a matter of fact, probably a lot of our viewers who are watching this or watched our previous India videos are from there. Speaking of which, if you're from India or your ancestors are from India, hit that like button. Boom!
Hit
Now,
that
the
like
first
button.
president of India was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Crazy thing about him, he only took 50% of his income. 50%? Why would he do that? Well, it's because he was like, yo, I don't need this much money. And as a matter of fact,
awesome.
by his 12th year of running, he went down to 25%. Now, we know India has an interesting space program.
That's good,
but
I guess.
It doesn't include unmanned craft, but it's also included manned craft. Now, the first astronaut from India was Rakesh Sharma. Now, you might find this a little weird, but he went up with the Soviets in Soyuz T-11
He was the
on
first-
April 3rd, 1984.
Was he the
But this
first
was part of a
Indian
program
astronaut?
called Intercosmos, and it was a program that the Russians practiced to help Soviet Union allies with manned and unmanned space programs. Now, in India, it's got 501 animal sanctuaries, 94 national parks, with the biggest being the Hemis National Park. And if you want to go see a snow leopard, that's the place to go because it has the most snow leopards, and it's world famous for visitors seeing them. Speaking of
Wow,
animals,
snow
let's talk about
leopards.
my favorite animal. It is the elephant. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah,
like the
elephants are
elephant?
awesome.
It's big, it's majestic, and it makes cute little sounds.
I agree.
Actually, cute big sounds, because it's so big.
Yeah.
But you get the idea. Now, the elephant is a very protected animal. As a matter of fact, it is still on the endangered species list. Now, currently, they estimate in India there are about 20.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Wild elephants.
She jumped out of the car.
600 in captivity. Now, have you ever heard of Gleevec? Well, it is a cancer drug. And as a matter of fact, if you want to purchase Gleevec, it'll cost you $2,500 in India, but in the United States, it'll cost you over $70,000 because it's not patented in the United States of America. Now, in our last video, India 2,
That's
we talked about
insane.
how India is home to the biggest home, but it's actually also home to the most expensive house
Yeah,
of
this
all
is
time.
This I've
It's
heard.
called the Antilia, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
pretty much more a 27-floor skyscraper skyscraper. It is currently valued at $1 billion and was made for Mukesh Ambani,
Yeah,
who
he's
is, yes, a multi-billionaire and can easily afford this.
I've heard that before. That's awesome. Like, not awesome in...
It is 400,000 square feet.
The house is awesome.
And Will architect firm in Chicago. And besides his family and his 2 kids living there, it also consists of 600 employees, 3 helipads, 6 floor parking, and let's not forget the giant cinema.
Holy fucking shit!
And last but not
That's
least, let's
insane.
talk about the Golden Temple, which is also known more as the Harmandir Sahib.
I've seen this
and
in
it is
a movie, I
the most
think.
humanitarian temple in the entire world. Now, why is it? Well, the Golden Temple feeds 100,000 people a day and can easily feed up to 300,000 people with its vegetarian meals. As a matter of fact,
100,000 people per day?
It is called the world's largest soup kitchen. So guys, that is it for us here today on
My mind is being blown repeatedly by these videos. FTD Facts are making an insanely good job. I did not expect to get this mind blown. Almost every fact he says I'm getting just repeatedly shocked by. Like, these numbers are insane. 100,000 people a day? That makes basically no sense. Like, how would people... Like, what? That's awesome, though. FTD Facts, the link is in the description below to his channel. Please go ahead and check him out and show him some love and support. Like, look at these videos, make him do more videos. Like, comment on his videos telling him to make more videos. Like, who would not want to see more of this? I want to see more of this. I want to see more of his shocking facts about India, shocking facts about maybe other countries, maybe some amazing facts. I don't know. Anything that's interesting to watch, I'm willing to watch it, and that's about it. And this was more than interesting. This blew my mind completely. So, thank you so much for watching. My Twitter is in the description below if you want to follow me, but I encourage you to follow him, FTD Facts, before you follow me, because his videos are insanely good. Also, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. Like, if you made it this far, like, there's no other way around it. You should subscribe by now. And peace.